Jonas Cain is a positivity expert, author, and comedy magician. Schools from across New England have used his engaging and interactive programs to entertain and communicate his messages of positivity. He currently serves as the spokesperson for #Positivity, a company whose mission it is to share positivity in a world that greatly needs it.
Yeah.
Today, he will use his magic and stories that will help us live a positive life. Please help me welcome Jonas Cain.
All right.
Thank you very much. You're supposed to start every presentation with a joke, right? That's what they say. Now they say this because it's supposed to loosen up the crowd. But I have two things about this. One, I think you folks are loosened up enough. And number two, I'm going to be telling plenty of jokes tonight, so I figured we don't have to start with a joke. Instead, we might start with something that you might call an intellectual thought experiment. It's a joke that's grown up. Everyone go, ooh. It's right on cue. Here's the riddle. With a knot tied in the handkerchief, is it possible to get the knot out without me untying? Is it possible?
I think so.
Yes.
Anything is possible. That's right, because it's a magic show, so of course. Of course it's possible. But the question is how? Well, this is how. Well, actually, there's a few ways. Now, one, if the rule is that I can't untie it, I can just have someone else do it for me.
Yeah.
That's one way. The other way, if the rule is that we're not allowed to untie it, just take some scissors and cut it off. That's another way. But it is a magic show, so we're going to use magic. We just have to say the magic words. Mecca lecca hi, Mecca Scotty. Hi, good to see you. And when you do that just right, the knot just pulls. Woo! Right on. Whenever I do this, people say to me, they say Jonas.
Jonas.
That was perfect. But they also say, do it again. You see, we're almost have our lines out. This is getting good. But I'm sorry, there is a rule in magic. You're never supposed to do the same trick twice for the same audience. You know why that is, right? Well, you took my magic class, right? They would figure it out, right? Because they would
just start looking closer and tell us.
because they know what to expect. There's no more surprise. But there's a loophole in this. I don't think I taught this in my magic class. There is a loophole. If the rule is that you're not supposed to do it for the same audience, that doesn't mean that someone else can't do it, right? So you could just have someone else do it. Josh, would you please join us again up on stage? Give him a nice big hand. Just like this. So again, I'm not doing the trick again. Josh is doing it. Pull it nice and tight. And let go with your right hand. Take your right hand, wrap it around the knot, and think the magic words. What are the magic words?
I can't remember.
No, that's exactly right. Those are the magic words. And just pull the knot.
Oh,
this is the matter. Give it a nice big hand. I'll tell you how this is done. You just tie a slip knot. That's all you got to do. It works every time. All right, by a round of applause, who has ever seen me perform before? By a round of applause. Most people have seen me. By another round of applause, who has never seen me before? That's about half and half. Well, for those of you who have never seen me before, you might be wondering to yourself if I'm any good, right? It's a fair question, but what you might not realize, I'm wondering that same thing about all of you. As an audience, are you going to be any good? Now, I've been sitting in the back watching you with PJ and Jude, and you're a great audience, but as for you to get to know me a little bit more, and for me to get to know you, I'm going to tell you a story about the very first magic show I ever did. This story is 100% true. I did my very first magic show right out of this box. I made it myself. I was 12 years old. There was about, 10 or so people gathered around in my parents' living room, and inside the box, this is kind of neat, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Now mind you, I was 12, so the cards looked big in my hands, because my hands were small. Of those 5 cards, I placed one of them away, yet even though I placed one card away, I still had one 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Everyone was so amazed that only one person clapped. But then they all threw their hands up in the air and they said, "That's amazing!" Good. You're getting good at this. We're getting our lines down. But I'll tell you what, it took a little time. I'm going to do this again. Slightly different though. I'm going to tell a slightly different story about the very first magic show I ever did. I was just 6 years old. My very first magic show. Right out of this box. I didn't even know how to spell yet. This story is at least 50% true. There was about 100 people gathered around in my parents' living room. My mother was getting nervous. We were running out of drinks. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 humongous cards, little tiny 6-year-old hands. And I placed 1 and 2 cards away.
Oh.
And yet I still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. You see, we're really starting to get this now. We have people participating. I see the hands going up. I'm hearing the words. But there's one thing we're lacking. Enthusiasm. A little bit more, especially in the back. A little more enthusiasm. We'll get the hands, and then it'll be perfect. All right. Slightly different story. Very first magic show I ever did. I was just 3 years old. Very first magic show. Gathered around my parents' living room. There was about 1,000 people gathered around. We ran out of drinks and chips. It was terrible. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and I placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards away. That's the trick. I was only 3. I didn't know how to count yet. So of the 5 cards, I put 9 of them away. And then I still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. When all the cards disappeared, everyone said! Isn't this fun?
Yeah.
We should do this every Saturday. What are you folks doing next Saturday? Hang out at the Bing. All right, there is a theme tonight in tonight's show.
With the cube.
Yes, it's with the cube. So of course I have to bring my own story about the cube, and this is a completely true story. Unlike that one, this is a true story. I hated the Rubik's Cube when I was a kid because I could never figure out how to solve it. Has anyone, by round of applause, any of you ever actually figure out how to do it? One person. No one else. I always avoided this thing. I thought it was beneath my dignity as a human person because I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out, so I avoided it. So this was just recently. This was just within the past few years. I decided to revisit some of the things that I had passed up on in my earlier years because I realized just because something is difficult, that doesn't mean it's any less of a worthy endeavor for us to sit down and dedicate the time to. The show gets better, I promise. So I revisited a few things that I had passed on. So, but here's the thing: if you want to do something big, like solving the Rubik's Cube, you don't just start off by trying to solve the cube. It's like if you want to become a writer, you don't start off by writing a novel. If you want to become a bicyclist, you don't start off by riding a bicycle 3,000 miles across the country. No, that's ridiculous. What do? You work on it by starting small. You just start small. This is a regulation style cube, only in adorable size. What's your name? Cassie, you may take the cube and give it a little mix. Do you know how to solve the cube?
No.
So you weren't the one person that below that. Just give it a nice little mix. Cassie, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but there are 48, and this is true, 48, you can Google it, that's what I did. 48 quintillion. Quintillion, I didn't even know that was a number.
How much is a quintillion?
That's 48 with 18 zeros after it. If you had a regulation size cube for as many different color combinations, with every turn that you're making one of the 48 quintillion different color combinations. If you had one regulation cube for every turn, it would cover the entire Earth's surface 200 175 times. I know, it's crazy. We don't have enough time for that. Is the cube mixed? The cube is mixed. Now here's the thing, I have figured out how to solve the cube. However, there is, the world record is right about 5 seconds for solving the cube. Just about 5 seconds. Now, I can't solve the cube in 5 seconds, but I do have my own kind of record that I like to show you guys. And does anyone have a watch with a second hand? Or an iPhone with an app? Or, no one? Oh, we have a guy over here. No, you don't have a second hand?
Yes, timer in a second.
All right, we have someone over here. All right, okay, perfect. We're gonna time and see how long it takes me to solve the cube. Now remember, I can't solve it in like 5 seconds. That's the world record. If you go onto YouTube, it looks like a camera trick, but notice, there's no cameras here. So it's not a camera trick. You're gonna be our official timekeeper and time how long it takes. As soon as you say go, I'm gonna start to solve this. Are you ready?
Go.
Okay. Time. How far are we at?
15.
15 seconds, seriously?
Yeah.
I was doing this afternoon, no lie. It took me over 3 minutes. But here at the Bing, in 15 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, I know you might be saying, how is it possible to solve the cube in 15 seconds? What I told you is only partially true. Well, you see, I did solve the cube, but remember there's 48 quintillion different ways to solve the cube. So I already know how to solve the cube the regular way, right? With all like the yellows on one side, the greens on the other side. That's what everyone's doing. That's what PJ and you are doing, right? To go the extra mile, right? You decide on a new color combination and solve it for that. Thank you. Hashtag positivity, right? Okay, this is only partially true. I didn't decide on that color combination. You see, you decided.
Okay.
You see, you decided for me. Because if we take a closer look.
Wow. Wow.
Is it not quite?
No.
Oh, wrong side. Let's see. Okay, here it is. There we go. Here we go. It helps if I orient. I know, isn't this fun? No, my name's Jonas, by the way. But thank you.
You're lucky she never said that to me.
That's it for my show. Good night. Just doing what's expected, that's one thing. To go the extra mile, that's always where our best is. Who has a good imagination? Who would you say that you would say that you have a good imagination? Let me see hands if you have a good imagination. One person, 2 people. All right, hands down. If you don't have a good imagination, raise your hand. Some hand, I didn't see hands either way. You don't have a good imagination. What's your name?
Betty.
Betty. Now we've never met before, right? You look so happy about this. Betty, you can stay right there. We were going to test your imagination to try and get you to level up your imagination a little bit. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right, Betty's ready. Watch close. Yeah. We have 3 little white plastic cups face down on the stool. Can you see them?
Yes.
She said she doesn't have a good
I
imagination.
can't imagine things myself, but if somebody tells me, then I can imagine
Oh, I see. You have to
Yeah.
have a muse.
Yes.
I'll be your muse.
Yes.
Oh, I almost forgot. I also have a little red invisible ball. Take a look at the little red invisible ball. Okay. Right? Make sure that's a regular little red invisible ball that you might find in your own home. Is that the real deal? Are you toss back? Freedom. There we go. She's quite the arm. The ball starts off inside my pocket. I'm going to sneak the ball underneath one of the cups. You have to try and guess which cup it's going to be, because here's the thing, you're not going to see me do it. I'm that good. It's going to be invisible. So you have to guess, Betty. But here's the thing, you can only choose one. Do you think it's going to be underneath cup number 1, cup number 2, or cup number 3? What do you think?
Cup number 2.
Cup number 2. And why do you think it's underneath cup number 2?
I have 33% chance of being right.
Oh, okay, so it's just the laws of probability, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. It's just, I'm not good with fractions or decimals, so I don't know. But you think it's 2? You want to change your mind?
No.
It's not underneath cup number 2. Good guess, though. It's underneath cup number 1. Give her a nice big hand. It was underneath cup number 1.
Oh my goodness.
It was right next to cup number 1. It was yes. This is why I do this piece, because this is why I didn't like puzzles before, but why, as a magician, as my older self, I can appreciate this. You see, the words that a magician uses are meant to give us clues, but they are also meant to confuse, right? This is kind of a riddle, right? It's sort of a play on words, because when I told you had to guess which cup the ball was going to go under, I then said, you can only choose
Oh,
one.
wow. Yeah.
So we're going to do this again. I brought with me, I thought ahead, I brought with me the real cup number 1. Everyone go, ooh. Betty, take a look inside the cup. Anything inside the cup?
That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Are you sure there's nothing in there? Right?
Do this.
Now there's a finger in there. Oh, I almost forgot. We also have the real little red ball. It's with pocket lint and everything. Is that the real deal that you might find maybe as a catch toy, maybe?
It's harder than I thought.
Well,
That would be.
the ball starts off inside the cup. You can hear it. You can actually see it inside them. You're going to be the eyes for everyone,
Yes.
right? All right. The ball starts off inside the cup. It's going to go inside my pocket. I'm going to try and sneak the ball out of my pocket and get it back underneath the cup without any of you seeing. Make sense, Betty? Ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right. Are you ready to start?
Yeah.
Would you like to see that again? Oh, now, of course, every time we do this, people say to me, Jonas, do it again. I'm saying, but we already went through this. I'm not allowed to do it again. Remember the loophole there? Someone else can do it, but there's a second loophole, is that I can do it again if I change the rules. If I change the way that I do it, then I am allowed to do it again. So I'm going to change the way that I do it. It's going to look the same, but it's going to be different. The ball starts off inside the cup. You can hear it. You can see the ball. I haven't done anything funny yet. Right? The ball goes inside my pocket. This is where I get nervous. Because you've already seen me do this. Remember, we were talking earlier about the surprises, right? The surprises, if you know what's going to happen, there's no surprise. Then there's no magic anymore, right? You've seen me do it with the ball and cup invisible. You've seen me do it visibly. You saw me put my hand inside my pocket, but you didn't actually see the ball go inside the pocket, right? The logical conclusion is that the ball never left the cup. The words in a puzzle, in a riddle, and the words that a magician uses are meant to give us clues, but they also confuse. Let's take a look. It did leave the cup. It actually is inside my pocket, but this is what I want to Oh, thank you, Betty. This is what I want us to understand. This is why I do this piece. Because it reminds us about the surprises in life. It's kind of like that saying, when life gives us lemons, what do you do?
Make lemonade.
Make lemon. Those the lemons, that's the surprise. Because remember, there's more here than meets the eye. There's more than just the ball. There's more than just the cup. What is it? What is it? Well, yes, there's stool, but there's also something else.
Lemon.
Because would like to. Folks, I'm very excited about this next piece because this is something that I never thought I would ever do in my life. This is a magic trick that I had seen other magicians do. This is a magic trick that I read in magic history books about. It's a thing, it's magic history books, if you can imagine that. And I always thought it would be something I would never do. But again, revisiting things that I had given up on previously in life and revisiting things that I thought I would never do, I decided to put this next piece into my act. And it's going to start off as perhaps a magic trick that perhaps you think you may have seen before, but it's going to take a left turn very quickly. Do we have any card players here? No card players. You've played before, that's close enough. Come right over here, Jonas.
I played war before.
You played war before?
Yes.
It's America's favorite game. And what's that? Oh, I do, it's fair. Josh, inside this deck, you're going to choose any card you like at random, though, at random. I'm just going
I
to...
can't see the cards.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to keep them face down. In fact, I'm just going to drop the cards one at a time. Wherever you say stop, that'll be your card. If you stop me up here, you'll get one of those. Stop me somewhere in the middle, you get one of those. Wherever you say stop will become your card. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, just say something.
Stop.
Right there, take a look. Do not tell me what it is. I'll show the people around you as well, just in case you forget. Don't say. Do you remember your card?
Yes.
All right, here's what you're going to do. Before you go and have a seat, you're going to choose anyone else here. Point to anyone else. Who's this guy?
This is my dad.
Hi, Dad.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Please go ahead. You may have a seat over here then. Give Josh a nice big hand for Just say stop as I shuffle through.
Stop.
Right there, take a look. Do not tell me what it is. I'll show the people around you. Don't forget what it is. You're going to choose one final person. Choose anyone else here. It could be someone you know, someone you don't know, someone you like, someone you don't like. Anyone at all. Right over here. What's your name? What's your name?
Deanna.
Deanna.
All right.
We've never met before, right? I think we've met before, but that's okay. Is it okay if for you, someone who has seen me before, right? In fact, you've all seen me before. All three of these people. You've taken my magic class. You've been to the show before. So it's a very intimate group. We have three people, 3 cards. You're going to choose the last one. Just say stop as I shuffle through.
Yeah.
Right there, take a look at your card. Don't tell me what it is. I'll show other people just in case you forget. You have a very important job, though. You're going to take the cards, and you're going to give them a shuffle. You're also going to take this rubber band. When you're done shuffling, you're going to place the rubber band around the deck. Now think about this. 3 cards. Shuffled into the deck of cards, displacing every card, making it difficult to find those 3 cards. Now remember, this trick is taking a left turn very quickly. It's going to take it right now. How's the shuffling
I'm
going?
not great, but
I think you're doing wonderful. Hashtag positivity. Now this isn't the trick I want to show you. Remember, this is just to introduce what I really want to show you. I'm going to escape from this straitjacket.
Whoa.
So if I am to find those 3 cards, I must first escape from the straitjacket, get all over there, shuffle through the cards to find those cards. And let's see, I need someone who's really strong. I need a strong. Who among you is strong? Everyone's pointing to someone else. Dad, are you strong?
here.
Come on up here, give Dad a nice big hand. I've never been one of these before.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm the one who's going to get inside. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to place it on. It's kind of like a jacket. You put it on backwards. And there's a series of buckles on the back. You're just going to start at the top and pull them as tight as you can and work your way all the way down. You may recognize this piece. This is something that Harry Houdini, you've heard of Houdini,
Yeah.
he was the first performer to use this as a form of entertainment. He would hang upside down from a skyscraper. From a skyscraper. You don't like me, do you? Now, here's the thing. I have insurance, but I don't want to have to use it. You sure you've never done this before? So, Houdini would hang upside down the front of a building. Instead, to make it more impressive, I'm going to do a card trick. Oh, now you have another strap. That one doesn't have to be tight. So now if I am to find those cards, I must first escape from the straitjacket. This is the I love myself jacket. Hold it nice and tight. And I'm going to attempt to find those. What is this? See, is he like this at home?
Yeah. At first he's like,
I want one of these.
yes, and then he's like, I have so much power.
Well, you did a marvelous job. I wouldn't shake your hand. My hands are a little elbow bump.
Here, I'll shake it for
And you
you.
may, oh, thank you, Josh. It's the mini cane. You may have to see. Big hand for Dad. I am a little tied up. I have to get out of this thing and I have to find those 3 cards. You remember your cards, right? Do you remember your cards?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we have our timekeeper. You gotta time and see how long it takes me to get out of this. Houdini used to do this in just about 2.5 minutes was his average time. I'm gonna see if I can either break his record or I'm gonna beat my own personal record of just under 2.5 hours. You're gonna get your money worth.
Now you know why it's 11 o'clock.
Are you ready? Is everyone ready? I said, are you ready? All right. And go. I'm getting flashbacks to my birth.
Wow.
The cards, please. Pick 1, 2, and 3 cards picked. I think this is a card.
Yeah, it's all. What is it?
Did you have to put me in so tightly? I work, you know, not that much. Oh, I think this is the last one. All right.
Use all of them.
I need to work out more. Time, how do we do? How many? Oh, come on, 3 minutes. Well, I'm tired.
Me too.
That's my show. Thank you. Oh, the cards, yeah. We're doing a card trick. All right, 3 cards. Oh, a shuffled deck of cards. Wouldn't it be amazing if those 3 cards are those cards that you just need to rest? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to call out these 3 cards. If you hear your card, you're going to say, yes, that's my card. Everyone will throw their hands up in the air and they say, that's amazing. You ready? Who picked the King of Hearts? Who's that? Yes, that's what. That's your card. Oh, a shuffled deck of cards. Oh, a shuffled deck. All right. Jack of spades. Quack, quack, quack. Was I close?
But the thing is, the three of spades.
It's in the straight check.
Do you remember what it was? Oh, you know what? Remember, hashtag positivity, right? Hashtag positivity. There was this great American philosopher, you may have heard of it, this very famous quote. He said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The great American meatball.
The three of clubs was my card, and it's my favorite playing card.
Is it really?
Yeah.
The 3 of clubs is your favorite card?
Yeah, when I got
And-
the card.
And you chose it. Well, I count that as a win. Thank you. I don't like because this is my closer. I don't like to end with disappointment. So I'll.
Disappointed, you've been great.
No, thank you, Betty.
I'm just going to get some leaving.
Because
That's right,
why?
you're leaving.
Oh well, here's. Let this be the closer then. When life gives us lemons, what do?
Smash lemons.
We still smash lemons. We're gonna make lemonade. Whatever is our stumbling block, whatever is holding us back, don't let that be the excuse to just give up. Cut to the very center, get to the very core of what's troubling you. Because when you do, you're gonna find there waiting for you what you've been looking for.
Go big now.
What is it?
In this case, it's a little rolled up plane.
Oh my God.
And you remember what your card is? For the first time, what is it? The 2 of hearts? Sure it wasn't the 3 of hearts? Oh good, because this is the 2 of hearts.